are sitting in a tie. Well, they're half a game back in the United Conference from the Barnstormers. The Barnstormers are sitting at 12-2, and the Storm at 11-2 coming into tonight. So with a win, they'd be tied for the lead in the United Conference. Big game for the Sioux Falls Storm tonight, as we are getting closer and closer to the playoffs. Colorado coming in tonight is in last place in the Intense Conference at 3-10. With a win, they will move into a tie, however, with the Salt Lake Screaming Eagles, their sister team under the franchise ownership. As far as the two conferences go, overall in the United Conference, it goes Iowa Barnstormers, Sioux Falls Storm, Wichita Falls Nighthawks, the Green Bay Blizzard, and the Cedar Rapids Titans bring up the rear of the United Conference at just 1-13. In the Intense Conference, you have the Arizona Rattlers at 9-4, the Spokane Empire at 8-5, Nebraska Danger at 7-6, the Salt Lake Screaming Eagles at 4-10, and your Colorado Crush currently sitting at 3-10 on the season. Let's get that big win tonight. What do you say about that, everybody? I'm looking for the big win. I hope you're looking for the big win. I'm feeling a big win, especially in this game. The last time one of these top-rated teams came in and faced the Crush put up 77 points on them. They beat Wichita that night 77-73. I'm feeling let's do it again tonight to Sioux Falls. They've been dominant in the league. Let's have a nice pride game and go out there, compete hard, and get that W. Coming into tonight's game, on offense, the Crush are putting up 195.1 yards per game, and that breaks down into roughly 56.7 rushing yards and 138.4 passing yards, which leads to them scoring about 38.5 points per game on the season. The problem is, and the reason they find themselves at 3-10, they are allowing 254.5 yards per game on defense, and that breakdown is roughly 95.7 yards rushing and 158.8 yards passing, allowing 50.1 yards per game. Now, the defense, as of late, in my opinion, has been playing a lot more stout. They've been making better plays. They've had less mental breakdowns. They've been playing a little harder, tackling a little truer. Things that are showing me they're moving in the right direction. If they had, another half a season, you might see that completely turn itself around to where those numbers were dropping some. But right now, due to early struggles, they are where they are. The record is what it is, and they're going to have to come out and just continue to build on what they've been doing defensively over the last few weeks. Nothing stellar, again, but from what I've seen, it's been a different defense since Coach Jose Jefferson was let go for financial reasons. Whether that has something to do with the different way the coaches are interacting now, or the plays that are being called, or whether that was a calling card for this team to come together, I don't know, but I have seen some differences on that side of the ball. There's been some transactions. Some players have come, some players have gone, some players to the IR. There's been factors. But you're going against a team coming into tonight that's 11-2 on the season. You can't give up 254 yards as a defense and expect to win this game against that team. You're going to have to give up more of the 180, 190 yard variety. You're going to have to drop that by 50, 60, 70 yards. Time of possession in this indoor game isn't that much of a factor. You can score a touchdown in 5 seconds. It's a 50-yard field. You can kick a field goal from your goal line. So time of possession isn't a big factor. It's not a stat you're really going to look at in these games. But the passing yards and how many yards you're giving up does show how much time and how many points are possible by a team because they're on the field the whole time. They're getting a lot of yards, big chunk plays most of the time to get that many yards. This isn't a real running league. It's pass-oriented. Coming into tonight, your Sioux Falls Storm, 11-2 on the season. They're averaging that 226.4 yards per game, okay? We're We're giving up 254. That means we're really going to have to tighten up on defense to try and limit this team's opportunities, to limit their chances, to limit their scoring opportunities. We can't go out there and give them what they average, the 115 yards rushing, the 110 yards passing, 48 points per game. We're giving up 50 points per game. So I'm saying this is going to be a struggle for the Crush tonight, but a very doable one. They tighten up by one score. They tighten up by 15, 20 yards. I said I'd like to see 40, 50, 60, maybe even 70 yards less. Get one of those games like we had against Wichita Falls earlier in the season and put up 77. Would love to see that tonight. This is a team that we're facing tonight in the Storm. They're allowing 192 yards. That's right about what we average. So we need to go ahead and get that average, and we need to get a little bit more. They're allowing only 44 yards rushing and 148 yards passing. They're only giving up 28.9 points per game on average. We're averaging right about 30, so we need to get that average plus some. On defense, we need to not reach our average. We need to be a little better tonight. Whether that's because the offense scores more points or the defense tightens things up and forces some more turnovers, like we did against Spokane a couple games ago. But we need some playmakers tonight. We need some guys to step up and do something big for us. Where these two teams rank as far as in the league, I mean, we can break it down as far as that goes too, as far as points go on the season, right? Who scored the most points? Where did the Crush and the Storm rank out as far as everybody? Storm are fourth. No, Storm are, what are they? Third in points. And the Crush are eighth in points. Yards on the season. Total offense. We'll just go with total offense on the season. Storm are fifth. And the Crush are dead last, coming in 10th, okay? This is what I'm saying. This is an offensive-driven league. And right now what we need to see from the Crush is some big plays tonight. They can play with this team. They played with Wichita Falls, who is first, second, third. They're in the top 5 in just about every statistical category across the league. So tonight what the Crush need to do, they need to come out, they need to be focused. They need to build on what they've been doing defensively. Coach Jones needs to make sure that defense is focused, hitting hard, hitting sure, wrapping up. You can't have any blown assignments tonight. It's a solid game tonight, and that will get you the W. That will get the Crush the win. That will get them their 4th win on the season. Big shout out to Coach Rubio, who's got his Pee Wee team out at the game tonight for kids night, for youth night. Another reason to go out and get some tickets and get yourself out to the Budweiser Event Center tonight to watch the game. It is youth night. It's great for the kids. Balls coming to the stands during the game, you get to keep them. After the game, you get to go down on the field, shake hands with the players. You get to get autographs. It's just a good time for the family. It's a fun atmosphere. I recommend it. The season's getting short now. We got a home game tonight. We got a home game on the 16th. If you can't make it out tonight, try and make it out for the 16th. It's a good time, trust me, believe me. Get out there and enjoy it. So the Sioux Falls Storm is a good team. Crush can't make mistakes tonight. Sean's going to have to be on point with his throws. Kaiser's going to have to probably get 2 or 3 more touchdowns to add to that league leading total. The defense is going to have to come up with a couple interceptions, maybe a couple blocked kicks and extra points. You got to defend the home turf here at the end of the season. Build on something moving into next year. That's where we're at. It's pride game. It's man up time. It's let's build on something moving into next year. That's the take. That's real talk about tonight's game. Let's get into some other stuff. We're still going to talk about the NBA playoffs, LeBron James' house, and how I'm going to connect that to the Colin Kaepernick situation and something that happened to a guy that I went to high school with, his family this week. If we have time, we'll get to Mr. Met. We'll get to the Conor McGregor Floyd Mayweather fight. We'll talk about the NHL playoffs. But now let's get into the real good, the real bad, and the real ugly. We'll start with the real good. All right, the real good. This is something I loved as a kid. Was watching the Battle of the Network Stars. I loved watching it on the weekends. It always baffled me how good the skiers were and how fast they could run, and they almost always won the damn thing. But it's coming back. ABC, the Disney Corporation, they're bringing back the Battle of the Network Stars, hosted by DeMarcus Ware and Ronda Rousey. This is a logical step to me for both of those individuals. Rousey, to me, if she fights anymore, it's just going to be on name value. She's moved on to other phases of her life. She's an all-time great, and I think this is perfect for her. As far as DeMarcus Ware, it's great for him. He's making a transition out of football. He's gotten opportunities. He's stepping out, taking them, doing his thing. And like I said, I love the Battle of the Network Stars. They're going to have teams of individuals, whether it's by certain sport or certain profession or certain athletic field. They're going to divide them up. They're going to compete in different events, and then at the end, you're going to have a winner. It's good stuff all around. Tune in this summer when that takes place. All right, the real bad. This ESPN firing thing, firing John Clayton. Get rid of John Clayton this week. To me, that's just a bad move. You already got rid of Ed Warder. You got rid of John Clayton this week. Bad move, ESPN. I understand you in a business, and I understand you got to make money, but those are two of my favorites as far as reporters around the league. They are very knowledgeable. They seem to be very connected. They seem to get information that other people did not get, and they were likable. So just bad all around. Kudos to John Clayton for getting the last laugh, though, as he tweets out when he finds out that, what he said? He said, I'm keeping the ponytail. From the now infamous commercial of him with the Slayer shirt and yelling to his mom for whatever food item he needed right after he pulls off the fake suit from doing his ESPN report, and he's actually in the basement with a ponytail listening to Slayer music. So that's the real bad. Here's the real ugly. The real ugly has got to be this Tiger Woods situation right now. I could have put a lot of stories in this segment, this little quick rundown of the real good, real bad, and real ugly. But when it comes down to it, it's real ugly what's going on with Tiger Woods right now. Now, he's not perfect. None of us are. We know his mistakes that we know of. We've made judgments based on those mistakes, based on how we feel about those actions personally. The fact of the matter is, since he was busted, since his life went into a tailspin then, it has done nothing, in my opinion, but continue to spiral out of control. I understand. I've watched the dash cam footage. I understand he blew a 000 on the breathalyzer and he wasn't drinking. There's worse things than drinking. Pills can mess you up. His car was messed up, the flat tires. He clearly had hit something. He didn't remember being in the car. He was asleep when they found him. Jack Nicklaus, a friend of his, famous golfer, greatest of all time in major championships, he said this week, he needs our help. And it's a real ugly situation there for Tiger Woods. And, we just hope, not so he can start making money and playing golf again, just so he can be a person, just so he can be a good dad to his kids. That whatever it is, he can move through this. He can find the next thing that he's supposed to do if it's not golf anymore. it's hard to see the good ones go, the ones we feel we know because we watch them on TV so much. And the truth is, we really don't know these guys. What we know is what we